It's the role of the sales leader to develop that person, to allow them to grow into the potential and to exceed beyond their expectations.
Hello, I've got Dylis Guyan with me again. Welcome back, Dylis.
Hello, John.
Hey, we better let you go and get out of Sydney. You've been here a long time now.
Yes.
Hey, Dylis, I wanted to get your views around sales management. Tell me, what do you think the better sales managers do to get better results from their sales team?
Okay. Well, I'm going to start right at the beginning here. In terms of when a sales manager takes on a new salesperson, they really need to be showing them exactly what they want them to do in terms of attracting, converting and retaining new clients. Because again, from my experience, I see sales managers very often just assume that the new salesperson knows what to do.
So that whole process of onboarding a new salesperson is vital, isn't it, in an organisation? It's not just chucking a bit of product knowledge at them.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've seen this, John, is that the product training takes precedence over the marketing and sales.
It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah. So that would be my first port of call. And of course, it's checking with that salesperson as to what they do know, and then taking them through the process of how to attract, convert and retain a client.
Very good advice, and it is sad to see that out there even really good salespeople that are brought on board often fail because of that lack of attention, onboarding, and coaching by the sales manager.
Yeah, and then what the good sales managers will do is they won't just manage results. They will actually look at the activity that's given the result, but more importantly, look at the competency.
Right, and coach that.
And coach the competency.
Right.
So that each element of the activity gets better.
Totally
to give
agree
the
with
better
you.
Result.
The really good sales managers that I know are brilliant at that. And whether you look at leading indicators or lagging indicators, it's understanding all that activity and the indicators that are indicating the progress in activity, and then coaching to those.
Yeah, because there's many salespeople who say, I need more leads. Or the manager will say, go and see more people. But actually, if they're not good, you might have someone who's really great at getting the appointment, but then when they get to the face-to-face meeting, it just falls apart.
Yeah, they're probably dumping product and customer and not thinking about the sales process or understanding what selling really is.
That's right. Or you may have someone who's selling, but they're selling low value.
Yes.
And so that there's something happening there that needs to be improved in terms of the competency. But this can only be done when the sales manager is absolutely committed to those sales individuals, to making sure that they know the what, why and how.
There's a real difference between a sales manager and a sales leader, isn't there?
Completely, yes.
Management, in a lot of people's terms, are managing the numbers, the spreadsheets, and driving with the whip and so on. The real sales leadership are good coaches, and they actually provide the leadership for people to be successful.
Yes, and that really is the purpose of their role. Anybody can crunch numbers.
Yeah, and, exactly.
This is a real passion of mine, because, I'm passionate about making sure the business owners and salespeople know the process. The sales leaders or managers, they should be as passionate about that. And you can only do it by going and observing. You can look at the numbers, you can analyse how many contacts, how many appointments, how many presentations, how many sales, what's the value. But go out, and the good ones will go out and observe, and then they will button off and they will coach that person to improve in that particular area.
And a very important here, not take over either.
Completely not.
Let the salesperson make the mistakes, then come back and talk about it and coach it, rather than taking over and destroying their own salesperson's credibility and impacting self-esteem and so on.
Yes, yeah. I see this much like a bucket that has got holes in and it's leaking. It's about fixing one of the holes. fixing another hole and fixing another hole until it doesn't leak, and so that bucket is complete and holds the water.
But those holes are so important because we learn because of the mistakes we make. And if we're allowed to make the mistake and then talk about the mistake, we'll learn from it.
Yes.
That's good coaching.
Yeah. And I have a very simple philosophy that says nobody gets up in the morning to go to work to do a really bad job and fail. Nobody.
I don't know anybody that does that.
Exactly. So they do what they think is the right thing to do.
Yes.
It's the role of the sales leader to develop that person, to allow them to grow into the potential and to exceed beyond their expectations.
Look, this is wonderful advice, Dylis, and it reflects a lot of my own thinking, and I have the same passion you have. Sales managers can change the world. There's 30 million plus salespeople out there. If the sales managers are doing the right coaching, we can all be having the right sort of discussions with our customers to really drive a lot more value for everybody in this world.
Yeah, and I'd just like to add also that the sales leaders, sales managers, they need attention too in terms of their development, because they're not doing it wrong deliberately. They're doing what they think is the right way to do it.
I had a great discussion.
They need the skills.
Absolutely. I had a great discussion with Sue Barrett recently, and she was emphasising that. And she was emphasising that if we develop our sales managers, our sales leaders, then that's where most of our investment should be.
Yeah.
Not in just training salespeople all the time when we haven't got sales leaders that will help those sales people develop. Sales leadership is where we should be investing.
And nearly without exception, I have done it without, but I would always recommend to companies when I'm doing training of the sales teams that the managers are involved. And so they because sometimes they haven't been in the sales role for a long time and they've forgotten some of the steps of the process, and it brings a cohesive result when you have them together.
They'll learn, but the people the salespeople that are in the same room will learn from them during the training. Training is very much about discussion and learning from each other, and those sales managers need to be there to learn how much their salespeople don't know, but also help them learn more as well as learn more themselves.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, this is great advice, Dylis, and I've had some wonderful discussions with you. Thank you very much.
I've loved it, John. Thank you so much for inviting me.